The self-imposed deadline for President Trump's trade tariffs on Mexico has passed, triggering a drastic response from Mexico that could disrupt the U.S. automobile industry. In retaliation, Mexico has halted critical exports of auto parts, threatening to paralyze American vehicle production. This bold move targets the heart of a decades-long supply chain partnership, where U.S. manufacturers rely heavily on Mexican factories for essential components. The decision could lead to immediate factory shutdowns, layoffs, and soaring car prices, creating an economic standoff with far-reaching consequences. The stage is set for a high-stakes trade war that neither side can afford to lose. American assembly plants, particularly in Michigan, Ohio, and Kentucky, depend on daily shipments of Mexican auto parts to keep production lines running. Without these supplies, major automakers like Ford, GM, and Stellantis face costly stoppages within days. Dealerships, already struggling with low inventory, will see new car shortages worsen, driving prices even higher. Financial markets are bracing for turmoil as auto stocks plummet, and related industries, steel, electronics, logistics, face collateral damage. The disruption exposes the fragility of North America's tightly integrated supply chain, built over decades for efficiency, but now vulnerable to political brinkmanship. President Trump's tariffs aim to pressure Mexico into trade concessions, but the retaliation has backfired, putting American jobs at risk. Unions and industry leaders are demanding swift action to avert mass layoffs, creating a political crisis for the administration. Meanwhile, Mexico's defiance highlights its growing leverage as it diversifies trade ties with China and the EU, reducing reliance on the U.S. market. The confrontation tests the resilience of global trade alliances, with other nations watching closely. If the standoff continues, it could permanently alter economic power dynamics, emboldening other countries to resist U.S. protectionist policies. The crisis extends beyond autos, threatening manufacturing sectors that depend on cross-border trade. Higher car prices could reduce consumer spending, triggering a domino effect on employment and economic growth. Suppliers, logistics firms, and dealerships face financial strain, with recovery potentially taking years. Workers in auto-dependent states confront furloughs, while consumers grapple with inflated used car prices and repair costs. The disruption underscores how deeply intertwined the two economies are, and how costly decoupling could be. The longer the impasse lasts, the greater the risk of lasting damage to both nations. As secret negotiations unfold, the world watches to see whether the U.S. and Mexico can de-escalate tensions before irreversible harm is done. The outcome will shape not just the future of North American trade, but also set a precedent for global economic conflicts. With billions in revenue and millions of jobs at stake, the stakes couldn't be higher. Both nations must balance national pride with pragmatic cooperation to avoid a prolonged crisis. The resolution, or escalation, of this standoff will redefine international trade for years to come.